Millions of dollars and several months of hype to rebrand CBS All Access results in Paramount Plus easily the worst news streaming service I have had the displeasure of subscribing to in a very, very long time. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my media channel, and now it is time to do a full-blown review of Paramount Plus. Now, Paramount Plus, for those of you who are not aware, is a rebranding of CBS All Access. CBS All Access was the brainchild of Les Moonves, the former CEO of CBS, and he wanted to bring CBS into the future. He saw that streaming is the future of television. And look, I'm not going to deny it. There's a reason this channel talks so much about streaming and not about cable channels or TV networks, because except for who has the Super Bowl, basically standard TV is let's say a backseat to streaming. Streaming is way more convenient. It's not necessarily cheaper right now, but it's certainly more practical in many ways. And so CBS All Access was in some ways ahead of its time, but it was plagued with a lack of good content, inconsistencies, and lack of basic features like cues and, well, proper sorting. So for those of you who are not aware, this is what CBS All Access looked like. Study it carefully, because that is going to be really important later on. Now, I'm going to be doing this on the home browser, but let me assure you that what it looks like on the Apple TV is very, very similar to what it looks like on my computer. So look, you are looking at this. We're going to take it away. We might go back to it in a second, but let's see what Paramount Plus looks like compared to CBS All Access. Holy cow, it's exactly the same thing. Now, I already did like a first impressions video on my primary Apptrepreneur channel, but I wanted to give the full review here. Look at this, and let's look at the original CBS All Access thing again, and then let's go back to this. There is no difference. You know, design-wise, it is exactly the same. So my first reaction to this was, oh my gosh, what was the point of spending millions of dollars in promoting and rebranding Paramount Plus? When they said they were going to rebrand Paramount Plus, I didn't think they would literally do nothing except change the logo in the corner. But let's pause for a moment and let's take a deep dive into Paramount Plus. Maybe it's actually improved, and who knows what's going on. So first things first, they have now several sections. This has become very popular with streaming companies when they put their branded content into separate sections. You have CBS, you have BET, you have Comedy Central, you have MTV, you have Nickelodeon. Obviously, that's going to be a big draw, and you can see the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, is being prominently promoted. That's the marquee title for Paramount Plus right now. And Smithsonian Channel, which I have to admit I don't know much about. Now, as you can see, I've kind of been playing around with it a little bit, watching some SpongeBob. I tested out the new Archies, which can't believe that show existed. And look, Sonic the Hedgehog Sat AM, still probably one of the best Sonic shows ever made. So, on the front, you have trending shows. Obviously, self-explanatory, shows recommended for you. I don't know where they're getting that I would like the Thomas John Experience or Late Night with Stephen Colbert based on my viewing history of 60 Minutes and SpongeBob SquarePants, but whatever. You have movies recommended. You have recently added shows. You have trending movies, music, shorts, and films. On now, this is, by the way, this is one of, like, I think CBS All Access had this too, but they do have live TV. And Space Final Frontier, sports, which I will not be using, originals, comedies, yada, yada, yada. So, you know, this is all very standard for a streaming service. Obviously, they are what they are. But how is everything sorted? Well, let's go to Nickelodeon, which is, you know, something I personally like. Okay, so they're doing Paw Patrol, whatever this is, and SpongeBob. And look, they start with trending shows. So these shows are trending. That's great, but of course, it's a little bit of a mismatch. That's not a great way to sort your shows. But look at that. There's no option to do it alphabetically or anything like that. You just go to the brand and basically the algorithm is trying to tell you what you will and will not like. This is bad, especially like where is the sort from A to Z in the branded content? Where is the sort by year it was released? This is pathetic because, look, if you're trying to discover something, I mean, yeah, you're probably going to watch something at the top, but this is no way to really look for a show you want. If I'm on Comedy Central and want to find South Park, which, by the way, is not on Paramount Plus, that's on HBO Max, fully aware of that, just using it as an example. If it were on here, though, I have to scroll down. Like, is the Dave Chappelle Show on here? Like, I have no idea, and this is a very inefficient way to search for the show. However, up here you have shows. So let's look at shows and look what they do. Okay, so they have, here's where you have more variety. You have what's popular, then you have A to Z, you have originals, dramas, nighttime, kids. So let's go to A to Z, and I'm going to show you, like, okay, so they do have Chappelle Show. They do have Chappelle Show. So let's go to A to Z, and of course that doesn't always help, especially if you have kids, because everything's just A to Z. And then you can do reality, daytime. So if you really want to find things, this is where you want to go. And originals, of course, is probably where you're going to want to go first, because this is where all the stuff that you can only get on Paramount Plus is. However, that said, there are still things missing. Like here you have movies, live TV, brands, news. Over here we have all the different profiles. But what's missing here? What's Streaming 101 here that is missing? Your queue. If you go to a show, let's say Camp Coral, you can watch it now, or you can select an episode, or you can see related shows, Henry Danger. I guess that's what it was called. But there's no queue. You can't actually save the movie to watch later. Now, if you start watching it, you have a keep watching section, which that basically means that if you want to, for example, watch NCIS, you have to click watch now, and we're not going to watch much. We're just going to leave it up for just a couple seconds, maybe let the logo pass first so that we can assure the episode has started. It started 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause. Let us go back to the menu. Okay, that's annoying. That's very. Let's just go to the home page. Let's go to the home page, and where is it? Where is NCIS? Let's try this again. We'll watch now. I think we got to get through the logo again, and you can see where this is becoming an incredibly frustrating service, obviously. Let's go halfway through. Okay, so now we're halfway through. We've watched it for a few seconds. Let's pause it. Let's go back to Paramount Plus. And still nothing. Still nothing. Now, maybe they actually want me to watch a few minutes of it. So, tell you what. Let's pause for a second and let me watch 5 minutes of NCIS and see what happens. Alright, so as you can see, I have watched it for 5 minutes. No cheating this time. I actually let the whole thing run through, but I obviously spared you that. Let's go back to the front page, and there. Apparently, that was enough to get NCIS in the Keep Watching section. But again, some people don't watch all this stuff right away, and maybe I don't want to watch Sonic the Hedgehog all at once. Maybe I want to come back to it later. It would be really nice to have a queue to put that in. Another problem with this service is, frankly, it feels very incomplete, and it's actually pretty hostile to new viewers. Let me explain what I mean. So I'm going to do a search, because I actually saw this, and I actually really wanted to see this. Bob Hart. Oh, it's not there. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to shows. Let's go to A to Z, because I know what the show is called. I actually don't know how you would even search for this now that I think about it. Bob Hart's Abishola. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I actually really wanted to watch the show. It looks interesting, from Chuck Lorre, creator of 2.5 Men and Big Bang Theory, 2 shows I actually really like. So I'm going to start this. And Season 2. Where's Season 1? I don't see season 1 anywhere. Like, why am I going to start in season 2? All right. Well, what about Young Sheldon? That's a show that I have season 1 on Blu-ray, but I didn't get the rest on Blu-ray just yet. So let's go to Young Sheldon. There's a few seasons of that. Only season 4 is up. Where are the other 3 seasons? You know, Young Sheldon, more so than The Big Bang Theory, is pretty story-driven, so this does me no good to only have season 4. What about Hot in Cleveland? Like, can I see all of Hot in Cleveland? Let's see here. There's 6 seasons. I'm assuming that's the whole thing. What about I Love Lucy? 6 seasons there. Okay, that's probably fine. What about Behind the Music? Oh, Behind the Music, classic show. I love this show, love the history. I am looking forward to going here and watching hours upon hours of. There's only 2 episodes. Behind the Music has been around for years, has a wealth of content for music fans, and there's 2 episodes. Madonna, which is going to be kind of interesting probably, and Jennifer Lopez, which, no offense, I could frankly give 2 rats craps about. This is pathetic. What about Jersey Shore Family Vacation? Well, that's a spin-off, so that probably doesn't count. Snooki and JWoww. Okay, I guess I can watch all of Snooki and JWoww, but it's so hit and miss. Couple that with you can't actually save the shows. You have to basically watch them. Like, what happens if you want to see a show that's trending, you don't want to see it right then and there, and you come back a little later and it's not there anymore? Then you probably forgot the title. Like, this is so poorly thought out. And here's the thing. CBS All Access has been like this for years, and using CBS All Access, whether you like the service or not, and like, for example, my dad and brother like the service. They like the shows on it. But I think we were all in agreement that it was missing bells and whistles, and when they were going to relaunch the show as Paramount Plus, now is the chance to fix it. New interface, better sorted content, more logistical everything, but no queue, and you know, no logical way to actually sort this stuff unless you go to the genres. And even then, like, if you're on an app, like, you're scrolling, I don't know how long. Like, how is anyone supposed to ever get to Zoo Vets? Paramount Plus is CBS All Access with a different logo. That's all it is, and it is a complete waste. Now, is it worth $100 a year? Maybe if you like the content, but as clearly demonstrated here, it's actually work to use the service. Like, they had over a year, something like that, where they had a long time to decide that they were going to relaunch CBS All Access as Paramount Plus. CBS All Access did not have the numbers they need. They need to get into the streaming game in a big way. Paramount Plus with a better name, lean into that, relaunch it, make a big deal, and yet they didn't make a single change to the service itself. And I think the service, the way it acts on an interface basis and a content basis, is nothing more than frustrating. Interface, you can't save your shows, the sorting is all over the place, and if you want to actually watch certain shows, it's actually a crapshoot whether or not it's all available. I mean, I don't even know why they bothered to put Behind the Music on there all when they only had 2 episodes they can do. What is the point of that? Now, they did make it a point to put most of SpongeBob on there. Almost all of SpongeBob is on there, and I guess that's nice. But what about 60 Minutes? What about NCIS? I mean, shoot, let me actually go back to NCIS real quick. Season 18, 17, 12. Okay, that one has the whole thing, but for some reason, this show, compared to the other shows, starts at the most recent season. You have to go down to season 1. Like, what is the point of this? You know, other shows, like, let's look at MacGyver real quick. That one starts at season 5. So I guess if it's a current show, they're going to give you the most recent season first rather than season 1. None of this makes sense. I mean, I would say they needed a few more months in the oven to cook, but honestly, it's pretty clear that they weren't cooking at all. They were just taking leftovers and selling it with a new package. You know, they took one sticker off and they put one sticker on. It's almost like that Apu joke from The Simpsons, where he would constantly change the expiration dates on the milk. That's what this feels like. But anyway, so overall, I would give Paramount Plus a C. Very, very average service, average interface, but of course there are some good stuff like I Love Lucy and Star Trek and SpongeBob, and you know, for some that's probably going to be enough. But anyway, I'd like to know what you think of this service. Did you get Paramount Plus? What do you think about it? Did you have CBS All Access before? What do you think about it in comparison? Love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.